Hey guys, it's Stephen here, back with another video. I'm back with another episode of 5 things that we learned. Though last time it was 6 things we learned. Back to the 5 things that we learned today anyway. After Manchester City's 3-1 victory over Porto, I am going to dive into that in a minute, but I want to say thank you, as ever, once again, to OneFootball. The wonderful people over at OneFootball continue to support Esteemed Kompany on this channel. It means absolutely loads to me. It's a fantastic app with all you need about football, basically. All you need about Manchester City, all the stats, all the gossip, all the transfer news, all the updates straight to your phone, and it's absolutely free. Go and download it right now in the link in the description below and nourish and enrich your football experience down on your phone. The best app on the market, but absolutely none. Go and download it right now and you won't regret it, I promise you. Just like you won't regret listening to this video, basically. That's the really tenuous thing, but it'll work. We're going to talk about 5 things that I personally noticed during the game. You know the score by now if you've been watching this channel. And I think there are some very interesting stories from that game. Some positive, some not so positive, but largely I try and be as neutral as I possibly can be during these videos and remove emotion from it. I'm going to start initially, though, with a guy I want to be emotional about, Ferran Torres. Essentially, it was the perfect little cameo. Ferran Torres came on yesterday alongside Phil Foden and showed us the energy that we'd been missing throughout this game. I can't believe we got this guy for around 20 million. Genuinely only 20 million pounds. What a snip this guy is going to be. What I loved about Ferran Torres' cameo yesterday was just the energy and the exuberance and that willingness to make something happen that we've been missing from our game throughout the previous 70-odd minutes. Honestly, it was an exceptionally exciting little cameo and he scored an absolutely wonderful little goal. Honestly, watching Foden and Ferran Torres link up like that reminded me with a little 1-2. It was like watching David Silva and Sane link up, and I have missed that energy and that incisiveness. Football is a very simple game sometimes. You make a pass, you follow the pass, you follow the run, make a run, receive it, and then bang it in the top corner. And City are sometimes a little bit scared of just being that direct, and that's what I loved about Foden and Ferran Torres when they came on the pitch yesterday. I mean, Torres really wanted to make an impression. You could see his exuberance and his general enthusiasm. Even when he was celebrating Gundogan's goal, he was happy. But then when he celebrated his own goal, he looked absolutely delighted, genuinely. A lot of our players these days look a little bit like they celebrated a pre-season friendly goal. I know that sounds a bit strange, but I do get the vibes that It means a little bit more currently to the younger players. Of course it was, they're at the start of their career. And Torres looked absolutely delighted to get on the pitch. And there's an argument to say that mainly at the moment, potentially we're missing that directness, you know. As much as I rate Mahrez, he's a fantastic footballer. He is definitely prone to slowing the game down a little bit. And I do personally, and it's not a slight on Mahrez, it's just a different kind of player. I do personally prefer the kind of players who are a little bit more direct, a little bit more aggressive in their style, like a Sane, for example, or like Sterling when he's over on the right wing. So maybe that's something to consider at some point. For now, I do agree that Ferran Torres does need to be eased in slowly. Eventually, he'll adapt to the rhythm of Manchester City style. And he's only 20 years old. He's only a youngster still. Is he 20 years old still? I think he is. You sure you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. So there's no rush at all, but I think it's obvious that he's going to be very, very useful to this side. He's a natural finisher, what I can tell as well. He seems to be very clinical in front of goal. Not overly clinical, but the finishes that we sent so far him are sweet. The actual forwards finishes, and he was definitely the biggest positive in terms of what excited me last night. Him and Foden, get them on the pitch together, getting them linking up. Foden, by the way, midfield, lovely stuff as well. The next talking point for me is Kyle Walker. It's just a chance to really just big up Kyle Walker. I mean, Kyle Walker has just been for 50 million, he's been an absolutely fantastic signing. Potentially our best defensive signing since the takeover, really. Before Kompany and Zabaleta and all that kind of stuff. Since then, maybe he has. Maybe he's been more useful than Laporte, really. If you think about it, of all the defenders that we signed, maybe he has been our best. Kyle Walker is fantastic, and he gets so much criticism that sometimes he's undeserved. Of course, every now and then he is prone to making a mistake or whatever, or his head can switch off a little bit, but his benefits far, far outweigh any negatives you get from Kyle Walker. I mean, his absolute freakish physicality, his pace, his defensive capabilities, the amount of times they save us. I mean, you can almost rest assured knowing that if a ball goes to top and it's inside that left channel anywhere at all, Kyle Walker will be there. He will cover it. And he was good the other day as well in an unfamiliar position as centre-back. And last night, that goal line clearance in particular, and even not just that, defensively was excellent all night. Kyle Walker has improved so much as a defender, as a leader in Manchester City side, and he's showing no signs of letting up at all. Absolutely fantastic last night, and he's just so reliable. Winning teams are built around players like Kyle Walker. You need that dedication, that determination. He's not quite as aggressive and as passionate on the outside surface as someone like Zabaleta, but he does have that same desire and same drive, and I absolutely love Kyle Walker, a fantastic player. The third point, the injury concerns. Unfortunately, they keep adding up and up and up and up. There is an element of the pandemic to this. We are aware of the insane circumstances, and it isn't just Manchester City. Though we have been bad in previous seasons, this season everyone else is getting loads of injuries, and City are no exception. Last night it looks like we lost Fernandinho for a long period of time now. Guardiola said 4 to 6 weeks. Who knows how long it'll take for him to be fully fit then? Maybe 2 months in general. We won't get until we get Fernandinho back at his best, which is a shame. Even before the game as well, we heard rumours that Ake had a niggle in his groin as well, which I said about a billion times last night in the watch along. So Ake picked up a little knock. I don't think it's overly serious, but we are in the injury season, unfortunately. We've got Laporte out, we've got Mendy, we've got Gabriel Jesus. Now Fernandinho. I said so many times during the summer that it didn't matter if we signed a bunch of players and had a big squad, because we were going to use it to its full extent this season, and it's proven true every single passing minute at the moment. We're getting so many injuries, and it was inevitable given the lack of pre-season, given the lack of conditioning, given the fact that the players weren't anywhere near prepared enough, and the lack of a break. It was absolutely inevitable. It's a weird season, and the injuries are a genuine concern. What I'm hoping with these injury concerns is that we do see some young players get a go every now and then to lighten the load and ease the physical burden on some of these players. Someone like Cole Palmer, Delap, of course, that we know about, Tommy Doyle. These players hopefully should get a chance to show just how useful they can be every now and then off the bench, because we can't rely on other players not to get injured. It's going to happen a lot. I'm sure 2 months from now it might be a different picture where the players have kind of got the conditioning properly again, but it is a concern, unfortunately, and the squad is going to be stretched very, very thin, which is why this next guy might get some chances as well. Garcia. I mean, the Garcia thing is interesting. What we learned last night from the Garcia thing is that Guardiola still wants him to stay. Apparently he's planning to seduce him to sign a new contract. I mean, what the hell? I mean, have we not all seen the stories? There was a story today actually from Sport Witness where Garcia apparently is angry at Manchester City for preventing his dream move to Barcelona. Why are we bending over backwards to accommodate this guy? Seriously, I mean, I know we may need a defender every now and then, but I would rather play Walker there. I would rather play Stones there. I would rather play a young defender like Howard Bellis who wants to be there. I would rather we kept Adebayo and let Garcia go, you know? Adebayo is probably better anyway, in my personal opinion. You may not agree to that, but I genuinely think he has more to his game physically. And Garcia seems to have the club right in the palm of his hand. He's literally living rent-free in Guardiola's bonds, and we're accepting that. I don't understand it. I've got nothing against him personally, but what happened to this Manchester City side that was principled, where if a player wants to leave, don't want to be here, we don't play him. Now we're trying to convince him to stay and all this kind of stuff, despite him saying he's angry at the club and he wants to leave and all this kind of stuff. What is going on? And let's add to his performance last night anyway. He was poor as well in general. Garcia is a good technical footballer, but he doesn't read the game as well as you think he does. Last night he was chasing shadows a few times. He's not strong and fast, and he's got us bent over backwards, and he's taking the piss out of us, unfortunately. It's embarrassing at the moment how much we're willing to compromise our morals and our stance as a club for a guy who's just not really good enough and doesn't want to be here. Come on, City, show a bit of backbone, show some balls in this, and actually be decisive. You know, we should have sold him. What were we doing? In terms of the last point, the defensive issues are there still, unfortunately. The last night, I think we made those defensive issues ourselves by choosing certain players. Cancelo, unfortunately, had a nightmare. He just had a defensive nightmare. I like Cancelo as a footballer, but defensively at left back last night, he was abysmal. He was really bad, I thought. I mean, that defending for their goal was just like, it's the guy I need respect from me, an unfit amateur footballer who hasn't played in several years. It was just embarrassingly bad, man. Genuinely bad. There was a few times last night when he was sloppy in possession as well and didn't read the line and all that kind of stuff. If you're going to play the two weakest defenders in Garcia and Cancelo, please don't play them next to each other. Diaz can play on the left-sided centre-back. He has done that for Portugal, though. He did it for City briefly the other day. Put Diaz over there. Put him on the left-sided centre-back, if that's okay. He was playing left-sided centre-back when he was covering against Mbappe for France. Put him over there, so then Diaz can at least babysit Cancelo, and then Walker can at least babysit Garcia. But we played the two weakest players next to each other on that side when it didn't make any sense personally for me. But we do have some defensive issues, and it is notable when we play certain players. I mean, look at our defence when we've got Ake, Walker, Diaz and Laporte there compared to this. I mean, it's a totally different defence. We can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot and playing a defence that we know is going to let us down at the big stages. It will do. Just play your best players there when possible and try and essentially remove the weaknesses before they happen. We all knew that Garcia and Cancelo alongside each other would be defensively weak, and so it did prove. And also as well, unfortunately, if you're going to play Gundogan and Rodri, they have to be a lot better at controlling the ball defensively. I mean, I thought they were both a little bit sloppy last night, unfortunately. And there was a lack of organisation defensively. I want to see the return of the inverted fullback swing in midfield. When the inverted fullback goes into midfield, because he offers us so much defensively and can be incredibly useful for us. But anyway, guys, that are 5 things that I personally learned. Go watch a match reaction video from last night if you want to. Let us know what you made of Ferran Torres' performances and if you agree with the points that I've mentioned so far. You may not agree with them, but that's fair enough. They are your opinions. These are my opinions. We're all City fans, and that is literally all that matters. Unless you're not a City fan and you're watching because you want to just hear me talk about football, then welcome. Let me know if you agree as well. For now though, thank you for all the support. Please do hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Give this video a like. Go and download One Football in the link in the description below. It would mean loads if you can do that. It helps support this channel. Have a wonderful day. Come on, City.